Hey everyone, you might be wondering, hey, why is there an episode of Bikini Bottom Radio on my feed on a Friday? Well, this is the special spooky Halloween episode, and we wanted to get it out before Halloween happened, so instead of posting it on Monday, it's going up Friday, so you have all weekend to listen before you get your tricks and or treats in. So just want to say from the Bikini Bottom Radio team, happy Halloween. We hope you have a fun and safe one. I also want to give a quick shout out to Luke Piedad. He is my co-worker, and he listened to this entire episode to check for audio quality and anything that we missed, like uncensored swear words. So, thanks, Luke. All right, everyone, on with the episode. Welcome to Bikini Bottom Radio. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bikini Bottom Radio. This is Robert.
I'm Anthony.
And Jenny.
And today we watched season 1, episode 13B. I Was a Teenage Gary. Let's see. This was the second half of the Halloween episode. So it's a spooky episode. I think it was, it's paired with that.
It was a body horror movie, basically.
Yeah, man, that got full of Kira there at the end.
Yep.
Let's see. But yeah, it's when it first started, Jane was like, is this the Halloween episode? And I was like, yeah. Like, just the Halloween episode started playing, and I just thought it had the same music.
Right.
It's kind of a completely different intro. So, Jenny, did you know what the title was a reference to? I think you said it's...
Yeah, I was a teenage werewolf.
Oh,
It's like a 50s film.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Like Teen Wolf, except, probably slightly different.
Way older.
Way older, a little less funny. The picture's funny, though.
Does the werewolf in this one dunk? Like the one in I Was a Teenage Werewolf? Or no, wait, Teen Wolf, I mean?
I don't think so. I think he's just like a dude who was experimented on and turns into a werewolf. And he's just like a teenager. So,
For sure.
it's
Wolf
Tony's
plasma.
hard. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, basically what happened in the episode where he gets stabbed with like a serum.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's go through the actual episode.
I don't remember this episode much at all, by the way. Rewatching it.
A lot.
I said the same thing. I didn't remember this episode. I saw it. I remembered some of the gags, but like, I don't remember seeing this episode very much.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because the previous episode before it was played a lot more for Halloween, and then this one just sort of fell through. I don't know.
Maybe it was specifically like one of their Halloween episodes. And they're like, well, we don't play these all year round, but it's not the holiday.
Right, exactly. I don't know.
I remember at the very end of last episode, Jenny, that we recorded, Jenny was like, I don't remember what that episode is. And just
we had to look it up, right?
Yeah, well, and then Jenny was like, oh, I don't know what this is. Stop telling me about it. And the minute we started watching this, Jenny was like, what's this episode about? Tell me. And I'm like, you literally told me not to, like a month ago, like 2 months ago. And I'm not about to like do that. No.
It was 2 months ago though.
Yeah, but I was like, yeah, I don't remember. So then he ended up telling me a little bit.
I gave her an overall plot without giving up the fact that, they become snails.
I figured they became Snells because the whole I was a teenage Gary.
Wow. Your powers of deduction.
It's the title of another movie about someone becoming a werewolf, so it's like they're probably becoming like were-snells or something.
And we get to learn about a whole other city right in the beginning, right? Ukulele Bottom.
So let's actually go through the notes that we have. So the first thing I have is, Gary's on his little hamster wheel thing that has like way too big of gaps in it. Like that snail's definitely falling through. And then they play fetch and SpongeBob falls asleep until the very next day with 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, I didn't know he could grow a beard.
Yeah. SpongeBob doesn't have hair, or does he? Let's see. I think Gary just looks really cute when he brings the ball back. He just looks adorable.
Gary is really cute in this episode.
Except for when he's like, it's a snail, see?
Yeah.
That's less than cute. But yeah, then I guess it's the annual jellyfishing convention in Ukulele Bottom. I don't know if that's literally ever been referenced again. Well,
I don't think it really has.
unless it's an episode I haven't seen, I guess we'll get there when we get to trivia.
There's not even a link on the wiki, like
for Ukulele Bottom.
Yeah, there's no link for it. So
okay, then SpongeBob was like, I can't go. I forgot. Squidward says, "Can you please not leave your undergarments on my front lawn?"
Like that's a normal thing people do.
I mean, SpongeBob.
Yeah,
like that. I guess.
Yeah. We get the little. He's like, "What's a Gary?" After he asks him to watch Gary. He's not a Gary. Gary. See, and then we get that gross up cough, just like sickly snail.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So isn't Gary? Hasn't he already met Squidward before? Like, don't they know each other?
I don't know.
Well, so I wrote that too. I was like, did we know much about Gary prior to this episode?
It says he interacts with him in Culture Shock, where he introduces Gary to the audience.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we know who Gary is. Yeah,
Okay.
he's in the first episode. He's like, today is the day, Gary, and then he does his slam poetry in Culture.
Oh yeah. You're right.
He has such a way with words.
Yeah. So.
All right.
He knows who he is.
Okay. SpongeBob says he's not going to be able to go out of town this weekend, and then Squidward literally like rewinds like an old VHS tape. I like that, especially the noise.
Yeah, it was silly.
How much do snails eat regular? Because like
he had tubs.
Like we had snails, and I'd feed him every like maybe 3 days.
And what would you feed him?
Like
that's right. Yeah,
they'd eat like the fish poop or like the leftover fish food that fell, and then I'd give him like zucchini or boiled carrots.
For reference, Jay and I up until recently had fish, and we had tank mates, like actual just snails.
Yeah, they were the mystery snails. And so yeah, you only supposed to feed them like every few days. Like they don't eat much.
They don't eat. You're telling me they don't eat like nuclear like tubs of dog food or whatever that was?
Just a full one for breakfast
Drums.
and then one for dinner.
They kind of just eat like algae and like leftover fish bits that the fish don't eat, pretty much. And then just give them some veggies to keep them healthy.
Well, I guess that explains why Gary was fine at the end of this episode, because he didn't need all that
Just
food.
needed water.
But does he live in water?
Yeah.
There we go. There's the episode every time.
Every time.
He just needed water, but he's in the water. So I was like, yeah, we never had to give our snails water. Oh wait, they lived in water, so
They drink already.
His goo or whatever.
So
Whatever
weird.
their water is there. I loved it when Patrick runs out to the bus. He makes a hole in the pineapple, but then there's also a hole in the bus, a star-shaped hole in the bus that was just unmentioned.
It's just there.
I thought that was really clever and funny. That's just,
was
there.
Jellyfishing.
That's brought back, right? That's not the first time.
No,
that's not the last time they do that chant.
No, it's the first time I know we started an episode with it. I think they already did the jellyfishing episode.
Oh, and they did it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a note that Squidward looks kind of weird for this episode. I think like he was proportionally drawn a little different. I don't know. It just felt like, to me, he looked a little weird.
There was a part when he gets on his what is that, like a beach chair or whatever, that like the proportions were completely off when he walked out of his house, put out the beach chair and then sat down on it, and it was like on his walkway, and it was just so weirdly drawn. It was like he wasn't even there. Yeah, the proportions were for sure off.
Yeah, I think it was especially weird because we all know the meme where he takes out the chair and then walks away.
Right, yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the Bizarro version of that.
So afterwards, so obviously Squidward did not give a F about Gary, so he doesn't feed him at all. Which he just lays out there for 3 days. Like, come on, dude.
Just before that, I did want to mention that I really like the joke where Squidward's like, I have the mind, like, don't worry, SpongeBob, I have the mind of an elephant. And he's like, I'll take great care of Fred. And he's like, it's Gary.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Okay, anyway, so what are you saying?
Oh, and it cuts to a shot of Gary in the window, and that Gary looks haggard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he looked so...
As he's coming back.
Yeah.
And then just all the color drains from Squidward. He's like, oh, I forgot the snail.
He lost his tan immediately.
Have you ever actually dog sat someone else's pet?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, my mom's dogs, which are kind of my dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
Dog sat them all the time.
We did that one time. We did an episode there was you were dog sitting.
Yeah, Robert, you dog sat with me before, remember?
Yeah, that was what I was going to lead in with.
Oh, okay.
I was specifically asking Anthony, but I forgot to direct it to him. No, yeah. Jane and I have dog sat before, like for like a friend of a friend. So.
My neighbor across the street has actually she used to have the cat that was the mom to my cat that I got when I was younger. So I'd watch their cats and dogs like when they'd go out of town sometimes. And they let me use their pool. Or they'd pay me. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nerve-wracking, especially the first time you do it with like a dog you've never had to deal with. Like you're like, oh my god, this thing's life is in my hands. It doesn't even know me. Like
it's just gonna be me all weekend. Like I don't.
Yeah. But if it's like a repeat thing, it's kind of nice. It's like how people say like, oh, I don't want kids, I want nephews, because like you give them back. It's like the same thing with the dog. Like you can like, oh, it's time for my like bi-yearly visit with this dog. I get to hang out with it, and it knows me now.
We did think we lost the dog.
No.
Like we couldn't find it, and I went across because like they live across the street from where we used to live, and so I went across the street and I was like, Mom, we don't know where the dog is. Can you help us find him? And like so she came over and like it was just hiding underneath the bed, but like we couldn't see it. Like I'd already checked under the bed, but it was like wedged behind things. So my mom was like, oh, I found him because like the dog liked her a bit better than us. But like,
oh no, that must have scared the heck out of you.
Oh yeah, we were like, "Where's the dog?" Like it was hiding. But yeah, we managed to find him and bring him out, and it was fine.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I bet. There was one time I have to tell this story. I was
please.
I didn't dog sit. Oh, I was dog sitting. I was basically farm sitting. It was out in Delzura, which is sort of like a like rural area in our county. They had horses and dogs and chickens and stuff, and so I was just taking care of the house while this family friend was gone. I was in charge of taking care of the horses and feeding them in the morning. And one of the horses, when I turned my back on it to get its food, got out of its stall and started running around all over the property. And I swear I was so terrified because I had no idea what to do. I don't take care of horses.
It's a horse.
It's a horse. It's a giant thing. I was trying to push it. You can't push a horse. This thing's
like, what are you gonna do? Grab it by the reins and like pull it back in? No, that thing could kick you and kill you.
Exactly. So what I ended up doing is after 2 hours of just chasing this thing around the property, I ended up there's no service out here, phone service. So I had to run back to the house, connect to the Wi-Fi, and I looked how to tie a bridle, around its mouth, because that's how you actually guide a horse is by using its mouth. So I had to look up how to set up a bridle and tie it up and do it. And I was doing it on this horse that did not like me at all. And I'm lucky I didn't get kicked, but I finally got it to where it was responding to my pulling on this rope that I had, and I got it back in. But geez, man, that was so stressful.
Terrifying.
Yeah, I didn't tell the people that I had
Why
to
would
deal
you?
with it. Yes. Oh, your horse almost got out. Oh, I'm so happy it didn't, because their property wasn't fully gated because they had stalls for the horses. So if that horse found the area that it could have just ran out into God knows where, I would have been screwed.
It would have just been like, cool, I'm free.
Yep. All right.
And you had to explain that you lost a horse.
A horse.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
That was a fun time. But I know how to bridle a horse now.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's a life skill.
You gotta
sure
take the good with the bad.
Sure, that will come in handy at some point.
Yeah, when I'm out in the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, smash cut to just us in Planet of the Apes land, running away. Quick, Anthony, I don't know how to bridle this horse.
The only way you can save the world is bridling this horse.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say it'll come in handy when people are just talking and they're like, "You're talking too much." Bridle.
Just stick a bridle on them.
There you go. Give him some sugar cubes.
There.
Give him a salt lick.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, good boy. Just calm down. Yeah. Honestly,
Horses are weird.
But yeah, horses.
Yeah, they're dumb. They're dumb. They're big dumb.
Also,
Are they big and dumb, or are they just really dumb?
Both.
Okay, cool. We're gonna take a bathroom break. So that there's a weird cut, and it didn't really come back right. That's what just happened. We just talked about that. Oh, okay. So Squidward is panicking, dumping 6 days worth of food. Yeah, I love how the panic.
No, he only dumped 3 days.
There's 6 cans of food from 3 days. So, but I love him just holding Gary and
shoving it.
Come on, as Gary's just lifelessly
just flicking it past his face.
It's so silly. And then SpongeBob's getting his shell key, which I don't know if I've ever seen before.
We've never seen how he locks his house at all.
And then just Squidward's like, and then just eats it all. His head gets so big and misshapen, and I hate it.
I'm like, why does it go into his head? Like,
it should go to his thighs, and then you blow up.
Both made that joke.
That is yeah, that's a meme. Just like that, like it's like, are you okay? Me trying not to cough on my water.
Actually, that happened when Robert and I met on the train.
Okay,
so we met on the train on the way back from school, and
very romantic.
Yes, it was like our first time hanging out.
It comes up.
So I was like, "Oh, do you like spicy food?" And Robert's like, "No, I can't stand spicy food." So I was like, "Oh."
I didn't say it like that.
I'm paraphrasing. It was like 7 years ago.
Made me sound so jerky. I'm like, I don't like spicy food.
No, he was more like,
I can't stand it. Ew.
Like, I can't stand it. Get that filth away from me. No, he's just like, I can't. He's like, I can't handle spicy. So I was like, that's lame. Like, spicy food's awesome. And I had a bag of hot Cheetos. And so I start eating them. And as when I put the first one in my mouth, I start choking on it because I inhaled it down the wrong pipe, and it's spicy and it hurts. And I'm trying not to cough a bunch because I just made fun of him for not liking spicy food.
I remember being like, "Hey, are you okay?" You're like, "I'm fine."
Trying to act all cool because I was like, "Oh, I want this guy to like me," but the spicy in my throat.
And look where it got you.
And I'm married with a baby, so I guess it worked out.
Almost a baby.
Basically a baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely felt like Squidward right there. Yeah. Legit. Just it
trying
hurt.
not to cough.
It hurt.
So dumb. Okay, so Squidward's like, all right, I'm out. Bye. I think he's in his tanning clothes this whole time too. And then Gary just goes something's wrong with Gary. And they called the snail hospital, I guess.
I like the car. It looked like
the
a
snail boat. Yeah.
I like the guy. I mean, I feel like that guy should have more of the doctor. Does he have more of a role later on? I don't
he's
really.
In various episodes.
He's like the doctor for everything. I think he's one who's like SpongeBob breaks his butt. He's like, you're a lucky.
Oh, right.
He's also one in Sweet Victory band practice where he's like, "Hi, we received reports of a dying animal on the premises," and then Squidward just slams the door in his face.
Okay. Yeah. So it is a recurring.
He's like the doctor, basically. So whenever they need a doctor, he's probably in the Suds episode.
Yes, he is in the Suds episode.
Mm-hmm. So just whenever they need a doctor, he's like the doctor character.
And I love how that's just a trope in every animated show. It's like you need a quirky, weird, not inept, well, sometimes inept doctor.
He's inept. He literally was like...
He was squeamish.
Yeah, he needs this snail plasma. It's like, aren't you going to do it? No.
No, too squeamish.
And he's like, okay, bye. SpongeBob's like, wait, Squidward, I'm squeamish too.
Yeah, you're right. He's pretty inept then.
To be fair, I mean, I get it. Giving shots, being a doctor is one thing, but giving shots is a whole other thing.
Yeah, do doctors even give shots? That's normally the nurse, right?
Or
that does it?
or a phlebotomist.
Right, exactly. So yeah, okay, never mind.
You're a word.
Yeah, Anthony, do you have a thing with needles?
No, I'm pretty good with needles.
I'm just curious.
I don't like them, but I give blood and stuff.
Gotcha.
I have the magic blood.
Yeah, same. Are you whatever?
I'm the universal. Yeah,
Hey, me too.
I got oh my god, what was it? I got an email the other day that was cracking me up from the blood bank. Your blood is powerful was the subject line. Whoa, and it just cracked me up.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, I was like, oh geez, okay. Powerful.
I give blood a few times, but then I pass out when I give blood, so I can't really give it anymore.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But I remember they called me and they're like, "We really need your blood because you're like O positive." And I actually had a really nice like 15-minute phone call with like the volunteer who was like trying to get me to donate blood, and I was like I wish I could, but I don't like passing out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they try their best with their like apple juice and stuff, but if you can't, it's just something you do that's impossible to give blood. Then
I always give it at school. It's a lot harder now that I don't live in a place where you just walk past where things are happening every day.
That's exactly for me. It was when I worked at the county, the building would have it every month, so I would just do it every month. But now I gotta drive and give blood. No,
that's so cool. Everyone should donate blood. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah,
like we need blood. Give your blood, people, if you can.
We need your powerful blood.
Exactly.
I don't even know how we got onto. Oh, right, needles. Yeah,
needles. So then
Oh well, I don't like needles. Thanks for asking.
Well, when for you to chime in.
How could I? You were talking,
dominating the conversation.
I don't know. Just want to talk about it. Anyway, so I no, I actually talked about it.
That was pretty ballsy to do to your pregnant wife, by the way, who you're in the same room with.
Gonna be here, Robert.
No, it might be embedded in my skull in about 30 minutes. Anyway, we'll see. Go on.
No.
Anyway,
I used to not like needles, and then I was fine with needles. And then the first time I was like, I got this, and I got like a shot. They like poked my muscle or something, and then a bunch of fluid came out. And then I had to like wear like a sling for like a week at school to like get the fluid back into the proper hole. So
what'd you get? Like a nursing student? Like what happened?
I don't know. I think they just did it wrong, and it was weird because like I like started swelling in my upper arm, and I was like, "What's that?" And then like it took like a day or two, and like it just kind of slowly started moving down to my wrist. And then they were just like, "Oh yeah, you just like here's a sling, just wear this for a few days, it'll go back in the hole and they'll be fine." And I was like,
you're way too casual about this.
Like, okay, sure. And then it was fine, but
no, thank you.
It was weird, yeah.
Yikesies. So yeah, we see a close up of Gary with that Rona cough. He's like,
yeah, it was a really realistic cough.
Then SpongeBob he's too squeamish. He keeps moving Gary. Then he gets poked in the nose. Gary gets put down, and he just needed water. SpongeBob.
Time. Also, I had a question about water too. I was thinking about also before. So, if snails have they have like a mucous membrane. That's how they do snail stuff. But like that also means they can shrivel if they have salt on them. How do snails live in salt water?
Like actual snails, you mean? Like real sea snails?
Like there's like sea snails. Like how do they live in salt water without shriveling all the time? Like I'm just genuinely curious.
I wonder if they don't maybe they don't have that, like sea snails don't. Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. Never thought about that.
The other thing is that ocean animals have an internal saltiness that ensures that salt water won't dry them up. The internal saltiness of sea snails is equal to the external saltiness.
Oh, okay.
They're balanced. Perfectly
so they probably
balanced.
don't like diffuse the salt across their membranes like outside snails do.
Mm-hmm.
So there's freshwater. There's definitely freshwater snails, right?
We had freshwater snails, Robert.
Exactly.
Our mystery snails are freshwater because they were with our beta.
By the way, if you're ever going to get tank mates for any kind of whatever, mystery snails are the best because mystery snails, as long as you have one, they can't reproduce asexually, and they can't get themselves pregnant. Because that's a real problem. If you just are like, oh yeah, no, I'll breed them. Like if you get one, it'll figure it out. And you'll just have a bunch of small snails clogging up everything, your filter. So just a word of advice.
Yeah, and even if you have multiple mystery snails, they have to they give birth above water. So if you have the water, if you make sure the water is close to the top, there's no way they can lay their eggs.
I didn't realize that stopping these snails from is an issue.
Okay.
All right.
So it slowly, well, not almost slowly, it kind of ramps up. It turns into a body horror flick, like a Cronenberg flick, where he just starts changing.
He's sweating. He's schwitzing when he's looking in the mirror.
Well, first he sees the food and just eats it all.
Why do you eat snail po?
He's right. He serves Gary an empty bowl.
That's true.
And so Gary's just like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Gary, Gary is my mood. And we were watching a scene and Robert was like, that's you. And I'm like, oh, am I SpongeBob or am I Gary? And he's just like, yes.
Let's see, what's this? SpongeBob's like, am I cracking up? I'm like, that's weird. I've never really heard that in terms of like I'm losing it. Like, oh, am I cracking up? What's going on? Only in
You've never heard that before?
I think that was the original meaning of it.
No, it's like I'm cracking up. Like you're literally going crazy. That's interesting.
Yeah, I've definitely heard it. I mean, obviously, cracking up in the terms of laughing is more popular now. But yeah, I think that was probably the original meaning of it. I wouldn't be surprised.
It makes sense. I mean, even like in the context of laughing, though, it kind of means like, oh, you're laughing so hard, you're not really sane at the moment because you can't get yourself together. So I feel like it, even though you can use it for different contexts, it kind of means the same thing.
Well,
you know,
I've learned something today.
There you go.
I like when the music slows as he's just walking.
His voice too.
He starts to just turn into a snail. When his eye stalks, he just gets eye stalks. Did not like that.
No, that's what I mean. That's almost pushing it for like when you're a little kid. Like that's pushing it to like that would mess some kids up. I bet.
Did not like that.
And like they did it purposely. Where like sometimes in movies when people change, like let's say into a werewolf or something, they'll be like and like hold their face, and then when they move their hand, their face is like a werewolf face. But they were like, oh, we're gonna turn him sideways, so you're gonna see it all. Exactly what's happening. You're gonna see those stalks come out. You're gonna see them changing into these weird snail stalks. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
It was
gross. And then, as he's just slowly turning and like his left arm shrivels up, he's like, oh, it's okay. I'm a lefty. I'm like, what?
Yeah, wait. It was his left arm.
That must have been an animation error, maybe. I don't know.
He's just got snail brain now.
Yeah, I get it. Left and right are difficult, okay? Not everyone can be good at them, Robert.
What? Okay.
Even your elite at sleeping.
Anyway, let's get back right on track.
They had no idea how to end this.
No, they really didn't. But real quick, I do want to say when he turns into the snail, it reminds me of that car transformation from that old 80s show where the kid becomes
a car. When his face turns into the bumper.
Guy becomes car GIF. Everyone just search that. It is the first thing in Google. My reaction when I turn into a car on Imgur, not sure. Ugh.
Yeah, it's bad. It's like they've learned. I think it was like a morph software or something like that, and they just like took two images and it just transformed them.
What? No, dude, this was like from an 80s cartoon. Someone had to draw this.
Somebody had to hand do that. You think?
Poor, underpaid, in between like frames animator had to draw this. It's Turbo Teen. It's like one of those weird shows that lasted 13 episodes in the 80s, but everyone remembers it because that body horror sequence right there.
Terrifying.
Let's see, and then SpongeBob shows up at Squidward's door after, Squidward's like, you're gonna be fine, and he was most certainly not fine. Jenny, you noticed Squidward's eyes are like kind of cockeyed a little bit, right?
Yeah, like when he goes against the door, like one eye is like up and one's kind of down. Yeah. And then they kind of correct himself and then they go back and I'm like, that's
and
okay.
Then SpongeBob gets in the house.
Before that though, I wanted to say I like how Squidward had a little pillow for his clarinet.
That was funny.
It was cute. He's like, good night, Clary. Just next to him. Okay, back to SpongeBob breaking in.
Squidward SpongeBob sticks a single eye through the hole, like the knot hole in the wood, and then gets in. Squidward's like running around, like literally in a circle around the top of his living room, and then like he stops, runs back. I like when they cut to the outside and the head is just shaking left and right, balances on one side. It does that like 3 times. His house, the Easter Island head.
Okay. Like, what you talking about?
Then it like turns upside down, it crashes. You get a cut of the chaos, and then actually there was a really weird quick foreshadow where Squidward's clarinet had punctured one of Squidward's portraits, but it went right through his nose. Just like 1 second later, you see the thing in Squidward's nose.
What thing?
The clarinet?
Needle.
Oh, the needle in his nose. Okay.
Oh, right.
It goes to his nose, and then
that's the painting. Okay. Yeah,
that's what you're talking about. I was
well done.
Confused.
Why were you confused? Because I literally rewound it to show you. You said, "Oh, that's what you meant earlier." Are you just now getting it?
Because you were just like, "Oh, the clarinet's to his nose." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, so the clarinet goes through a picture of Squidward the same way that the needle goes through his real nose.
Got it.
Then
Look at that.
Squidward snail is just weird, and he's got an actual shell.
Yeah, he has a shell, and SpongeBob just has his pants.
And I was like, yeah, like SpongeBob kind of just like scrunched up like an inchworm, whereas like Squidward actually turned into like a snail. I'm like,
Maybe he got more plasma than SpongeBob did.
Maybe.
that's a good point.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah, they're just singing some like sea shanty.
Blow the man down, right? I think.
That trope is definitely funny, you know, iconic of like just old cartoons like Tom and Jerry. I know they do it a lot.
The cat getting hit with a boot on the back fence of an alley.
That's definitely
I've seen it happen
classic cartoon trope
for sure.
Yeah, Looney Tunes. It's another one.
And then it ends.
That's just how it ends. It is weird. It's, I guess, SpongeBob and Squidward get unsnailified, like, you know, undone from their system, or it gets cleansed, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
Something like that, yeah.
The thing that I'm kind of like curious about is why was when SpongeBob turned into a snail, his first instinct was to go to Squidward's house. Like, I know he's like, Squidward said I'll be fine, and then like, you know, but I'm like, what was SpongeBob trying to do?
It's sort of like when you turn into a zombie, you try emulating things you did when you were alive. That's what he was doing. He went to annoy Squidward.
Maybe that could be, or maybe he blames Squidward. He's like, "You said I'd be fine, Squidward."
Yeah, that's what he was saying when he was saying meow.
I don't buy SpongeBob being that malicious, even if Squidward did wrong him. You know?
Yeah, because he turns to a snail, and the snails aren't really malicious. Like Gary kind of just living his life. He's not like attack people. So I'm just like. Also, wouldn't it have taken SpongeBob like a really long time to get to Squidward's house based on how slow they go?
That would not have happened the same night. That's so true.
No, yes.
Gary, like, all night for him to, like, fetch a ball on the other side of the room. No way that SpongeBob's getting there, like, within an hour, maybe. Like, no.
Exactly.
Oh, boy. Anyone else have any notes about the episode?
I mean, it was kind of a cut and dry episode. There wasn't really much to say.
That's true.
I'm sure if we'd seen, like, I was a teenage werewolf, there'd probably be, like, 50 other things to add. But, like, yeah, none of us have, so there you go.
All right. Well, that's the episode then, I guess. Let's move on to the trivia section. Ooh, this is a chunky trivia section on the thing. Let's find the most useless piece of trivia. All right, let's just give that 1 second.
That's
number one of the trivia was, I think you already mentioned it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
What?
I didn't just have that in my head.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that we already mentioned the first one of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah.
Ooh, one of them is actually a good one. This is the first episode to have a time card to mark how long time has gone by.
Huh.
Oh, iconic.
Yeah.
I love it. That's what I put on my graduation cap when I graduated college. Was
Ooh,
4 years
four
later.
years later.
That's a
Helped
good one.
make that.
No, you didn't. You were there when I made it.
Yeah, I helped.
I made it myself.
Hi everyone, Robert here. I would like to interject and say that I absolutely helped Jenny design her graduation cap. I was an integral part, actually. I printed everything out, and she was the one who ultimately put stuff together, but, you know, I don't want to downplay what I did. So I won't, which is why I'm interjecting this. All right, back to the episode.
Hey, I got mine.
Jenny, do you...
Not even a little bit.
I've got mine. Oh, this is a cultural reference section, but first of all, I guess they are singing Blow the Man Down, which is what the show's theme song is based off of, I guess. So I guess the SpongeBob theme song is kind of based on Blow the Man Down.
Oh, okay.
If you want to watch I Was a Teenage Werewolf, they make fun of it on an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000. So you can go watch that.
Okay, I have mine.
Okay, Anthony, you go first.
Okay, mine is... This is the first episode where Squidward Tentacles has been house-sitting Gary.
Jenny, why don't you go? Maybe someone else is going to pick that one that you just said. Anthony?
Okay, mine is Mr. Krabs and Plankton are the only two male main characters absent from this episode. All four female main characters are also absent in this episode.
Okay.
What? Like, that's cool? Also, what? Well, Robert's trying to find his Who are the 4 main female
Mrs.
characters?
Puff,
Sandy,
Pearl, Sandy,
Mrs. Puff, and Karen.
Karen.
Okay.
Oh, Karen.
I had Karen and I had Pearl and I had Sandy, but I was like Mrs. Puff, maybe?
Yeah, that's funny though that they went like, duh. That's such a dumb one.
So what you're saying is most of the characters are missing.
Exactly. What you're saying is this is a very slimmed down episode.
Like some of them are. Anyway,
Mine is this is the first episode in which Gary plays a major role. Sure.
cool.
So who won?
I want to vote for
Give it to
Jenny.
Jenny.
Yeah. That one is so out of left field. It doesn't even have anything to do with anything.
It's bad.
Yeah.
All right, well, Jenny, win.
Yay!
Hooray!
Where's my money?
What?
What? Nothing.
All right. Bye.
Uh-oh. We're supposed to... Okay, bye, everyone. I gotta go.
And there's my ride.
All right, everyone. Well, I guess this has been an episode of Bikini Bottom Radio. Sorry we took so long, as always. Real quick, Anthony, you want to look up reviews? I just want to go over a couple things.
Sure.
If you can, I guess.
Yeah.
My things are we need to do more episodes for a number of reasons, but with Jane and I were talking, we really do want to do episodes on things other than SpongeBob. It'd be cool to do the most recent movie. There's obviously the game came out, was re-released. There's the Patrick Show is coming out in a couple weeks from when we're recording this, so that's happening.
Also, that I didn't discuss this with you before, but one of the kids I work with was like, "Oh, like watch this video," and it's a video of just like a bunch of SpongeBob memes. And I think it'd be fun to just have like a meme episode.
That was literally one of the first things on the very first episode, we were like, "That'd be cool to do an episode of memes."
Yeah.
So honestly, we should do like our top 3 SpongeBob memes personally,
Or even like maybe do like a video episode.
Well, I don't want people to see this.
Or like not video, but like, oh, you can like play along with us, like a stream sort of thing.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, maybe we can actually get a Twitch set up. I think we actually set one up, Anthony? Like when we first set up all our social accounts?
If we did, I've lost it because I don't have it in my passwords.
All right, well, we'll figure it out.
But yeah, so I think it'd be cool to do like a few other things aside from just talking, I guess.
All right.
I have a couple of. We do have 2 new ratings since the last time.
Go for it.
Can I read the good and bad?
Yeah, start with bad and then with good.
Okay. Well, actually, 2. No, there's 3. Sorry, my bad. So, great show from Pineapple Under the Sea saying, I wish y'all would upload more frequently, but I understand that life can be busy sometimes. Thank you for the 5-star review.
We wish that too.
Thank you.
We have really, no excuse.
We appreciate that.
None.
And then the title of this one is I Have No Words. I love this podcast so much. I have no words. Thank you. 5-star review again.
Thank you.
And then let's end it off with the 1-star review by Mr. Reed Boy saying, a disgrace to SpongeBob.
Whoa. Nice.
Okay.
You know, they say if you're making people emotional about your thing, good or bad,
you're doing something right.
You did something right.
Yeah. So, thank you, Mr. Reed Boy. We'll try to do better. Or not. I don't care. You're probably not even listening.
I mean, you could give us critique. That'll help.
If you could give us some kind, specific, and or helpful notes, that's what we learned in high school.
Just and it's kind of big.
We did pass 50 reviews on Apple Podcasts, so thank you guys. That's really great.
Moving on up, guys. We have done it. We're gonna stop because we've plateaued, I think is the word. Yes, Apex Mountain. We've hit it.
Yeah. We don't need to write it all the way down. We can stop while we're ahead.
Nah, we're good. SpongeBob wrote it all the way down, and look what happened. He broke his butt. All right, everybody. This has been Bikini Bottom Radio. Finally, again, I feel like I say that at the end of every episode now.
Yeah, it's part of our sign-off.
Exactly. You can find us Bikini Bottom Radio, Bikini Radio on various social media platforms, depending on what we're able to get for the handle. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Patreon. Email us at bikinibottomradio@gmail.com. We'll answer. We got nothing better to do on all of them.
We love hearing from you guys.
That's true. And we also, I don't mean to belittle it, we actually do like it when people message us.
Oh, it's awesome. It makes my day.
If you want like a shout out or something, I mean, we don't really have much to do, so
we will let people know that we read your thing unless you explicitly tell us not to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, Anthony needs to go eat dinner. Jenny and I need to go eat dinner. And that's that.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.